But speaking of BlizzCon and speaking of World of Warcraft in general, a lot of people may not know that you've actually been playing World of Warcraft for quite some time. When did you actually start playing the game?
I first started playing WoW I picked it up in March 2007. So it was about 2 months after the release of the Burning Crusade.
Okay, so you've been playing the game for, give or take, a little over 10 years.
Yeah, we're coming up. Yeah, coming up 11 years this year, and obviously I've had some time off in between. Yeah. But yeah, give or take 10, 11 years now. So a long time.
A long time in Azeroth for sure, but also a long time on YouTube as well. You've been on YouTube. I remember I saw the first video I saw of you. I want to say was during Warlords of Draenor, but during the beginning. Was that a little bit later into your YouTube career?
Well, I started my first video was April the 13th, 2012. I opened up my YouTube channel on the 10th of April, and I released a video 3 days later. And my first video, because I remember it almost clear as day when I recorded it, was this really terrible half of the Jade Forest flyover when you couldn't fly. So I had to use flight points, and the flight points ended halfway up to the map. So I could only do this loop from the flight path coming back into the base, and it was just like, here's the Jade Forest, and this is this, and this, and this. It was the worst video you've ever seen in your life. And after 24 hours, it had 36 views, and I was just like, wow, this YouTube business ain't gonna be that easy.
Definitely is not, by the way, and I've been learning that the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah. But you've definitely come a long way since then, sitting now at over 130,000 subscribers on YouTube. You stream on Twitch now as well. And you've definitely been renowned for your unapologetic approach to content creation.
Very nice way of putting it. Thank
you. There you go. To podcasting, and in general to opinions and opinionation as a whole. And I want to talk about you specifically and you leaving. You left for a while. You started another channel. What was that transition like for you? What was going through your mind at the time?
Well, the new channel, the Midlife Crisis channel, didn't actually materialize till a lot later. I think you know what had such an effect on me, because there were multiple things. Number one, you know, a lot of people don't understand how much I do love the World of Warcraft, because they see a lot of critical stuff being said, and the internet is so binary. They can't comprehend that you can dislike a facet of something and love another facet of something. So my WoW experience had been rather a good one, and then Mist came, and Mist wasn't bad. It was just dull. It was just dull with a great patch 5.2 stuck in it. And then WoD was just trash. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was trash. It was not worthy of the Blizzard name, and not at all. You know, it was a stinker. It seemed as if it was made by people that hadn't got a clue what was going on. It seemed like it was made by people that had no ideas whatsoever. When you have a fantasy MMORPG and one of your developers comes out and says, well, the reason why we haven't put Farallon in the game is because we couldn't think of a story or a story reason to put it in. And you're just like, it's a fantasy MMORPG. You could say a wizard's on there and we need to kill it. And we're like, all right, we're in. We'll kill it. Has it got loot? We'll kill it. You know, it's such a, you know, the excuses were so poor and weak, and, you know, then they decided to just completely shut up shop. So, you know, you had this trash expansion, and then going into Legion, I'm still in that mindset. You know, it was very difficult to break out of that mindset. What had been such a negative experience that it was difficult to. I was trying so hard to say, "Come on, it's a new expansion. It's something different. Let's try and reset and go from scratch." And although Legion was good in as much as it had a lot more content. There was a lot of content put in. The fact that it was just all so samey, you know, it doesn't take much for your brain to see patterns in a game. And you're just like, world questing. Well, that's just daily questing. You're just selecting which one you do and where you do it, you know. So it was quite easy for me to pick that up. And then what else? Yeah, you got your dungeons and your raids. That's standard stuff. So where's the new hook? Where's the new thing? Where's the thing which, like, and then we've got this. And you're like, ooh. And it just wasn't there. And so, although I liked things like Suramar, I really liked the idea of a narrative zone, and I love Suramar. I think it's fantastic because I'm a big fan of narrative gameplay in MMORPGs. I mean, some would argue that's what it should be about, but you know, whatever. I love the idea of Suramar. That, you know, it wasn't enough of a hook to keep me there, and so I think it was about a month in to Legion. It was just I was so drained and done from the WoD experience, and I couldn't see anything different with Legion. And I said to myself, you know, can I really create content where I'm essentially saying to people, well, it's better, but it's not great. And it's just like, do I really want to be that? You know, do I really? Is that what I see myself? Is that where I want to be with my channel? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't. So I actually decided I stayed on the Heal versus Babyface, but I decided I wanted to branch out into, you know, all games.
And then BlizzCon happened.
I was streaming one day, and somebody asked, are you interested in BlizzCon? I had quite a few people, are you interested in BlizzCon? And I was like, you know, I'm not being a dick, but no. You know, I'll probably watch over the weekend and see the expansion reveal and whatnot. But, you know, I personally didn't have any interest. And it was I was doing a long day of streaming. It was I was doing a morning session and then having a break, 2-hour break, and then I was going to do an session. And then when I did the morning session, finished that, I had my 2-hour break. Suddenly the news came out, not about Battle for Azeroth, about Classic WoW. And then I was just like, what? And so I was like looking at Classic. So I think I saw a tweet from Bellular, and he was just, they're bringing in Classic WoW. And it's just like, no. So I looked on, and it was just, yeah, the announcement. World of Warcraft is bringing back the vanilla experience. And I was just like blown away, because that's the stuff I loved. You know, that's the time that I loved. And
did you expect it to come back so early?
No. What? The Classic announcement?
Yeah. Did you expect
no, I never thought they would announce it full stop. Because I said the only way that Blizzard would ever announce Classic servers is if they put it behind the current subscription. Mm-hmm. It's the only way that they could possibly do it. Because if they did it as a separate entity, it could show up the current product. Like, if they had it separately and it said, but you still got to pay a subscription fee, but we're hanging it separate from current WoW, then although we wouldn't have the subscription numbers, you know, 3,000 people, 3 million people could just immediately buy Classic WoW as people who are not playing the current product, just for argument's sake. And let's say the current product has about 5-6 million people playing it right now. If 2 million leave from there and go to the Classic, suddenly you've got more people playing the Classic game than you do the current subscription game. And that kind of like would be a damning indictment on the thing. So they have to really put it behind. I said the only way they could do it is to put it behind the current subscription. So when they announced it, I was just like totally bamboozled. I could not believe it. I never thought they would announce it.
And they did, and they shocked the world. I can say my reaction was very similar to yours. I actually ended up driving to Blizzard HQ. I worked just like half a mile away from their office.
Yeah.
I was screaming in my car, and I turned on my phone camera, and I just wanted to record my reaction because I was just insane. And that was my first ever YouTube video, was me screaming like a maniac for 60 seconds. I'm just so excited for Classic WoW, you know.
But that went down well.
Yeah, exactly. Things have changed.
Yeah.
But
I've never been one to kind of, well, do it realistically. Fake, sure.
Yeah.
But realistically, no. But mine was more of a, you know, jaw-dropping kind of experience. But yeah, I just never thought it would be something to do, especially after the you think you do, but you don't. Well, they did, and they have, and they've got it. When I actually left the game, I actually did join a vanilla private server, because when I quit the game, I thought to myself, am I really just looking at classic WoW from a nostalgic viewpoint? Do I just have these huge rose-tinted specs? And if I'm to play it now, which would have been 2016 at the time, 12 years after the fact, it won't hold up, and I'll be like, ooh, it doesn't hold. And so I joined this vanilla private server, and I was just like, I was loving it. And I was just like, oh my God, mana means something. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, somebody hit me and I took damage. And it was just like, suddenly you just had all these kind of like feels come back. You had this, micromanagement of your character. All these, mobs were so much tougher. The experience, the leveling experience, genuinely is an experience. It's a thing that you need. It's a rite of passage that you need to go through. And so I ended up having to stop. I was just like, I can't. I got to stop, because I'm playing a private server, and I'm just like, I've got to stop, because number one, I'm enjoying this way too much. I can't get suckered in, because if I get suckered in and carry on going. And the way that Blizzard was shutting down private servers left, right, and center anyway, I was like, I could just log in one day and everything would, and then it'll all be for nothing, and I'll be sad again. Yeah. So I was just like, I've got to stop. So I was sort of like happy and contented myself that, yeah, I was actually surprised at how well the classic experience holds up today, because there's no other game really doing that.
Exactly.
Which is crazy, that's something for, now nearly 13, 14 years old, and yet we are that far down the line, and it seems as if like the MMO experience has kind of like regressed, and not progressed. It's really bizarre, because sign me up, please.
Absolutely. And I absolutely agree with your last statement that things seem to have regressed instead of progressed. Things seem to have been more simplified than more complex. I mean, I can only imagine an alternate reality where instead of making things simpler, more streamlined, things actually became more sophisticated and more complex, more talents, more choices, more stats. I can only imagine where we would have been today.
Well, I think the big thing is that going back to that experience, you needed to rely on other people. I mean, the MMO was just as important as the RPG, because we're looking at online gaming in its infancy, and so online gaming that involved other people really did push the cooperative element, because it was like, you are playing with other people all around the world. You need to work together to achieve these goals. And nowadays, WoW is almost a single-player experience, unless you want to raid or dungeoneer. But you can still get very high-level gear without ever going into an instance, without ever teaming up with anybody. And so it becomes almost like a solo experience. Nothing can be too hard anymore, solo-wise, because, what if Johnny New Player arrives into the game? Oh, poor Johnny New Player. He's got to be able to hit something with his weapon and it die in 2 hits. So they never, everything they say, we try and make it even for everybody, but that's not actually the case. It's always got to be the lowest common denominator. The content can only be created to the lowest person, not to the highest and not to the middle. It's always got to be made to the lowest, because that's the person who's got to also be able to do the content. So any content that's created seems to be designed with such a base level of difficulty. But back then, you try and tackle an elite solo in classic, it'll laugh at your face and smack you and kick you out and spit you. It'll just absolutely batter the crap out of you. But nowadays, we're eating elites for breakfast. It's elite. I laugh at thee, and you just destroy stuff. So the classic experience was very much about teamwork and working together and aiding each other, and having that sort of come back. That's one of the big things that I'm excited.
That's great. And things have changed a lot, as you said. But speaking of changes, I'm not sure how well you've been tuning into some of the conversation behind the scenes. There's a big debate right now in the Classic WoW community about changes to the original game. Are you aware of this debate that's been ongoing, the changes versus no changes debate?
Well, I mean, I got to be honest. When I first heard about Classic WoW, I let my imagination go wild, and I said, "Oh, what about if they put it on in the new world? So they had the new Gilnean aesthetic, and the new actual world itself. But you could just like put mountains around Gilnean, so you can't access it. You know, blah blah blah. Oh, what if they brought new character models in? Oh, and then I said to myself, whoa, let's just back it up a bit. Because if you start doing stuff like that, then you open yourself up for the argument of, well, you allowed this, so why can't you allow that? And then before you know it, you've just got this chimera mess of what Classic should be. It's like they took Classic WoW and they put it in the fly teleport, and then it comes out the other end like that. And it's just like, that's what it would be. So I was just like, no. The only way that they can do this is by just giving us the game with all of its problems, all of its misbalance, all of its tatty graphics in some places. That's the only way that they can genuinely deliver, because that was the experience. And if you want to roll a Reti Pally, you go ahead, son. You be that brave soldier that rolls that Reti Paladin. And I'll, if I run a guild, I'll have you. You, sir, can have a position in my guild. Madam can have a position. I'll take you in. I'll take you all in. I'll, whatever class you want to play, whatever spec you want to play. I don't care how balanced it is or how OP or underpowered it is. I'll bring you all in, because that was the beauty of it. So yeah, I think it's no changes at all. None. Not even cosmetic.
Yes.
Just exactly as it should be. Just raw. Just the game that they released. Get rid of the bugs, sure. The bugs which were a problem, yeah, because you don't want them in any game, period. But yeah, the actual gameplay, the actual look, the aesthetic, the whole job lot, don't touch it. Leave it. Leave it.
One of us. One of us.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer, but I hear people going, "Oh, I absolutely agree with you on that one. I think you're absolutely correct." But I'd be quite happy with new character models. And you're just like,
yeah.
Everyone's got their little, everyone's got their little criteria that they want, and it's just like, no. So to me, it's just leave it alone.
Absolutely. Everyone is, I'm no changes except, and then they go on and on. But I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, definitely. So something actually surprised me a little bit at the beginning of this conversation. You didn't play vanilla back in the day. You started during Burning Crusade, albeit Burning Crusade was very much still the classic era.
Still had the vanilla experience. They hadn't altered the experience. So when I was leveling, I was still leveling in the vanilla experience. Exactly. So although I didn't play vanilla, I was playing vanilla. Because they hadn't messed with anything, they hadn't tweaked anything, they hadn't changed anything. You had your multiplayer quests, you had your tough elites, you had the whole experience wasn't messed with. And in actual fact, I don't think they really messed with. I don't even think they messed with the vanilla experience until Cataclysm, when they revamped. So when I joined the game, even though I joined in TBC, I still experienced Classic WoW from a leveling perspective. I mean, I was in Silithus at level 59.
Yeah.
In actual fact, I was in Silithus at level 60.
Yeah.
And I remember, because when I joined the game, I was the king of noobs. I was the king of noobs, and I was proud to be the king of noobs.
Don't you miss
it?
I
just remember, hey.
Don't you miss being a noob, man?
Yeah, man. Well, some people still say I am, but But no, I had no problems with being a noob. I had no being. Everyone's got beginnings. I mean, I think I was even at level 60. I still didn't know how to properly control a demon. It was great. But I remember I was in Silithus. I was level 60 and I was leveling up, and I was like, "Oh, it's a little bit slow now. It's a little bit slow, this leveling business now." And I had somebody come to me and they said, "Have you got the Burning Crusade expansion?" I was like, "Yeah. I bought the Burning Crusade expansion." And they were just like, "Why aren't you in Outland?" And I was like, "What's an Outland? What's an Outland?" I had no idea. I had any clue what Outland was.
Yeah.
I was just going through these zones, trying to find some. Oh, can I level in this zone? Oh, that mob's like near me. Yeah, I'll go kill that. That was like my experience. I was stumbling through the game, and it was. I don't think I did my first dungeon till about level 56.
Yeah.
And so yeah, when somebody said you want to be an Outland, and I was like, I've got no idea what you're talking. None. And they're like, okay, let me show you. So they took me to the Blasted Lands, and they said, right, you need to go into that portal and do that. So I did the quests around the portal, and then I went into Outland. I was just like, oh, what are these? So yeah, so even though I didn't join in Classic, I still had the Classic experience.
That's great. And actually, honestly, that's refreshing, because that's a very interesting perspective you're going to have going back into Classic for the first time. What are your goals? What do you really want to get out of the experience?
Well, I mean, I've experienced the Classic from the point of view of the dungeons and the leveling experience. I have not experienced Classic raiding. And one of my goals is I'm going to start a guild. It's going to be, obviously I'm a European player, so it's going to be a European guild. I don't know whether it's going to be Horde or Alliance yet. I, honest to God, haven't made up my mind, because when I joined the game, I started as Horde. It was 4 years until I converted to Alliance. And so I don't know what faction I'm going to be yet. But the plan is I will let, anyone that wants to play and have fun, team up. I'm not bothered about people's skill levels. I just want people that are, who just want to be part of a community on the Classic experience. But I want to also develop a raiding aspect to it. Because I want to do Naxxramas. And I want to get a Tesh. I want to go for a Tesh. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it proper. I want it in my hands. I want to kiss it. I want to hold it. I want to hug it. I want to make sweet love to it. I want to nurture it. I want to tell it about all the bad things and the good things in life. But I want to go through the raiding experience. And I want to do it with other people, I want to do it. I want to do it with other people. I want to see it from the reaction of people who have played Classic and are returning to an old friend, and I want to see it from the point of view for people who have never experienced this before, and how they compare and contrast the old game to the current product. And I just want to have fun, because it was some of the most fun times of my life was the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. They were some of the most, from a gaming perspective, they were just some of the most fun experiences I've ever had.
Absolutely. And it's crazy, because you look at it now, I'm guessing, somebody of your size on YouTube, you look at it both probably from the player's perspective as you going to enjoy the game, but also from the content creator's perspective. What are your goals from a content creation side for Classic?
Well, one of the when I decided to make my return video, as far as I was concerned, it was potentially the last video I was ever going to make on YouTube, because of the midlife bar crisis getting demonetized all the time, and I knew I couldn't make a living off that. And streaming was tough and whatnot. I was thinking about making decisions in life, and some of those decisions could take me away from YouTube. And so I thought with this announcement of Classic, to myself, well, if I am to bow out after 5.5 years. And try something, take a different pathway, maybe go into voice work, maybe do something else, whatever it may be. Go give my thoughts on Classic, at least to my WoW fan base on the other channel. So I legitimately said to myself, if I get like 4,000 views on this video, because I hadn't done a WoW video in 8 months, whatever, and even then, that had been just like the 1 week in WoW, and it was just like a few, couple of crap videos, whatever. So I really had been away from the game just over it. So I said to myself, I get like 4,000 people see my final video, which is just my thoughts on Classic. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I've just touched part of my old community again. And I did the these are my thoughts on Classic. And I think I had like 36,000 views in the first 24 hours, which for my channel was like huge. Because I do, even though I've got like 130 odd K subs, I am a niche channel because I'm an opinionated person.
I was one of those viewers, by the way.
Well, thank you. Some people like generic, is what I'm trying to say. Generic's easy and nice because you don't have to really express anything and whatnot. You can, and that's why I can understand that. And so I thought, I'd just do this video and whatnot. And it got such an amazing response. And the comment section, I very rarely delve into the comment section. There's no real point. It's a shit show. But I went to the comment section, and I've never seen a comment section alive. It was just, oh, Az, please come back. We love, and there was just so much love in the comments. It was just like 99% love. It was crazy.
And I'm very excited. I'm very excited, Az, to see what content you come out with in the future. I've always been a fan of your channel since the very beginning. I was right there in the audience listening when all the Garrison stuff happened. When the mission table came back in Legion beta, I was there for that video. And
well, I hear it's coming back in battle for Azeroth now.
Oh man! So I mean, yeah, it's the game.
We might be preparing to take another shotgun barrel to the face soon.
Queue up that emergency, Az, man. Queue it up from now.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I would much rather be. Much rather be dealing with the positives than the negatives. But I'm not shy to get. I'm not trying to win a popularity contest. I don't care if people love me or hate me. I don't care. I just care about giving some person's honesty about it.
And you've always been honest, and you've always been genuine, and I think that's why so many people have appreciated your content over the years. And here's to them appreciating it, hopefully in this new era or this old era, whatever you want to call it in the future with Classic WoW.
What's old's new again? It's the saying, isn't it?
Exactly.
But this is gonna be here. I can't wait. I legitimately can't wait. I think if you have never experienced Classic WoW and you want to see how it all happened, where it all began. If you are one of these people, and I see a lot of them at the moment, who are sort of almost creating a civil war in the comments section. Oh, somebody's nice about Classic. Oh, yeah, screw you. You wouldn't have the game you have without Classic. You wouldn't have it. Respect your elders, son. But I would love people to. I would say to people, if you have never experienced this, you have to. You have to see where this game came from. You have to see how this game, where it evolved from, where it started from, where it was created from. You have to see it for yourself. You have to experience it for yourself. If it's not your cup of tea, that's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. There's going to be a lot of people who are not going to be happy about having nice little comfy cushions taken away from them. They're going to be very disappointed with all the quality of life things gone from the game. And I can understand that. I can empathize with that. I hear you. But sometimes it's just fun to rough it in the wilderness. And this is the wilderness. And yeah, I ain't afraid to get my hands dirty. You should get your hands dirty too.
You heard it from the man himself, Az from HeelvsBabyface. You can find his content on YouTube under the YouTube channel name HeelvsBabyface, as well as twitch.tv/HeelvsBabyface. Some wrapping up thoughts, Az. Are there any projects you're working on? Any other place you'd like people to follow you, Twitter, etc.?
If my Twitter details at HeelvsBabyface, YouTube channel details you probably stuck somewhere in the comments anyway. I'm going to be creating a podcast, a legitimate podcast soon.
Awesome.
Which I'm working on right now, working on the specifics right now with a co-host as well. that's going to deal with generalized stuff, generalized gaming, chatting about what's been going on with gaming in the week and whatnot. There's going to be lots of different segments. There's probably be a little WoW segment here as well, but that's probably not going to come out till Marchish. But other than that, with me, I never try and plan too much. Because I never script any videos or anything like that. See where the wind takes me. Mm-hmm. I like to see what mood I'm in. My content's created by mood. What mood I'm in? I'm in an Iron Man mood again today. I'm making another round. But I've got my my current Iron Man series, which I've just started on my YouTube channel, where I'm doing the Iron Man challenge in the new scaled world of Azeroth. So yeah. That's what I'm up with. Then you can always catch me streaming. I'm always streaming whilst.
And I definitely enjoy your stream, definitely enjoy your content. But you guys heard it from the man himself. Once again, thank you very much for coming on, Az. I really
Thanks
appreciate
for having
it.
us.
No problem. And hopefully in the near future, we'll get back together, see if there's any new Classic WoW news, and do this again, huh?
Yeah, no worries. No worries at all.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have any questions for Az, please leave them in the comments section below. I'll try to forward them to him in the next couple of days. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, tips out, baby.